Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
I'm late to the conversation, but I found out about it late. I don't know how I missed it, but everybody's been arguing over if they'd rather be left in the woods with a man or a bear. It's a thing that started on TikTok, but then everybody's been putting their 2 cents in all across the internet on different platforms. And it's been interesting because I think it originally got posed to women. Would you rather be alone in the woods with a random bear or a random man, right? And I think people were astonished at how many women picked bear because it was a lot. I've actually seen very few videos that weren't bear. Which is shocking. It's like, I don't know, it took me aback. And a lot of dudes on the internet got very upset. They got so angry that they were like, why would you pick a bear? Why wouldn't you what? Are you out of your mind? Are you stupid? Why wouldn't you want to be left alone with a random man, you stupid bitch? I don't understand what I'm doing right now. You know? And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I don't know how in my feelings I was about it, but I was shocked. I was just like, oh, wow, geez. And then you actually hear people talk about it. You actually hear, women say like, well, the worst thing that, a bear is gonna do is either attack you or leave you alone, right? A man could do so many worse things to you, And then there was one woman, and I think her sentiment was like echoed around all of social. It's just like, she basically said, at least if I got attacked by a bear, people would believe me. Which I was like, ooh. When I heard it, I was like, ooh. Oof. Where do you go from there? What do you do next? What do you say to that sort of thing, Because it is true. It's a terrifying truth. It's a very sad truth. If somebody got attacked by a bear and ran up to you, you wouldn't be like, nah. Nah, you good. Like, just, it made me question as guys, because the women were saying men could do all different types of things, right? Bear could just attack or not attack, right? And it made me wonder, like, as guys, what are we doing that women would rather pick a bear? They'd rather risk their entire life than to be left alone with us and like hear about a podcast. It's rough stuff. I don't know if y'all saw this this Chiefs kicker. This is when it pays to be a sports fan, because I don't even need to explain all of it. But basically, in case you didn't see it, there was a kicker for the Chiefs who gave a commencement speech at a school that, I don't know, maybe he went there. Maybe that's why they wanted him. Seems like kicker is like pretty low on the list of who I want to bring to my school to sit, because this is like the last speech your kids are going to get at education before you send them out into the world, And he gets up there, and at first it didn't seem to be like that weird of a speech. I saw people were messaging me about it, and I was like, what did he say? As I was watching it at first, I was like, what did he say? He's like, oh, just be a strong man, take care of the people around you, have good values, all stuff like that. And then I kept watching. Because at first I was like, man, what's everybody been out of shape about? And then I kept watching, and then he was like, and to all the ladies here, I'm paraphrasing, to all the ladies here with your little degrees, go ahead and have a baby or your life is meaningless. Like he didn't really say that, but it's how people felt. And it's pretty crazy because I looked him up afterwards because I was just like, the weird thing about him is that because he's the kicker, you know he really feels this way. He has the least CTE on the team. These are his true and present values. But then I looked him up, and apparently his mom is a physicist. Which, I don't know. I mean, I guess, to a certain degree, he's working something out there. Like, if your mom's a physicist, I can't imagine how many times in your life you've been corrected. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's like, I just want a woman who won't talk to me and be right. Yeah, I mean, because his mom is a physicist and he's a kicker. Which means every time he misses, his mom... his mom can tell him exactly how off he was. I want to tell you a journey that I've had. I have become invested, captivated by 1-star reviews. Because this is my thing. Look, if you got 1 star as a company, you should be closed. But I guess legally not enough has happened where somebody had to come close you. So the public is taking it upon themselves to warn each other, hey, this place, no. Because when you see a 1-star review, this thing, 5-star review is like, wow, I had a great experience. I want to support this business. I actually also want to make sure other people have as good of a time as I had, so I'm going to spread the word with a 5-star review. 4 stars is like, okay, I had a good time, but there are a couple things they can improve. Let me let the business know. 3 is unnecessary. Like 3 is the 3 to me is insane, because 3 is you taking the time to go, meh, and it's like... That feels like psychotic behavior to me. I've never left a 3, all right? I've never left a 3. I go full 5 or 1. I either try to spread the gospel or warn my friends. 2 is like something happened. 2 is like, look, I would do a 1, but someone there was so sweet that I want to acknowledge how great they were. Because you'll notice a lot of 2-star reviews have something positive in them to a point where I'm like, why isn't this a 4-star review? And then you get to the end and it's like, but there was blood everywhere. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, I got you. So hospitality check, wonderful environment check, but lots of blood in the bathroom. I see why you have a 2 now. I see you were trying to give props, you're trying to be fair. I personally have never read a 1-star review that I didn't wish was longer. One time I was just chilling with Logan and I was reading him 1-star reviews that were making me laugh, and I can't remember what the business was now. I'm blanking on the business, but I think it was like a seafood place. It was like a crab shack. And then there was a 1-star review that just said, this place is a chair. No. Legally, you should have to keep typing. Don't just leave that I don't know what that means. Like, you can also tell, because some businesses, this is a different, look, I'm digressing, but this is a different point. But you can tell when a business, especially a restaurant, is nasty, not just when it has low reviews, but when it acts like a dude on a dating app. You know what I mean? Like they'll be taking pictures of the food, but the pictures of the food too close. Like, it's not a picture of the food on the plate, it's just a picture of 3 pieces of rice with some peas in the corner, and you're like, that's too close to the food. That means the plate is dirty. A 1-star review is a testament to an experience, you know? I live in New York, so there are a lot of 1-star reviews of a lot of businesses that will never close because they're either fronts or they own the building, so they don't have to worry about rent. But there was my favorite is when a place is permanently closed, but you can still read all the information. Like, they haven't shut down the website and the Google reviews are still there. And there was a funeral home. There was a funeral home that had a 1-star review, and I was like, this is my afternoon. Thank you, Google, for picking up the slack. Like I said, every 1-star review leaves you wanting more. There was a 1-star review that just said, they lost my daddy. We don't know where or how long or... They lost my daddy in all caps. 1-star review as a whole is incredible because it means that everyone's experience has been similar, right? Like, you'll see places with like a 3.0 and you'll see it really breaks down to like half 1s, half 5s, right? It just depends on the day, what kind of service that they get. 1-star review means everyone agrees, right? And the thing about a business having a 1-star review that blows my mind is I used to live in Chicago. And when I lived in Chicago, I didn't know you could just start a Yelp or a Google review for a place you didn't own. So someone had started like a Google review for Cook County Jail. Cook County Jail as a whole had 2 stars. And it's honestly hard to, like, I've read most of them, right? And one of them was 1 star, right? 1 star. And it just said, the guards are so mean. And then under it, because you know, if you're the business, you can comment under it. So then under it, they were like, you were in jail. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm on the formerly incarcerated person's side because they didn't refute it. They were just like, this is what we do here. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. There was a 4-star review for Cook County Jail. It's like, I stayed here, wasn't the worst, wasn't the best, but I did it. And that's a very objective person. That's somebody who's like, well, I did my crime, and this is as jails go, it's pretty good. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see the business go under. Let me go ahead. Oh, it's incredible. I remember when I started looking at salons, because I go to salons now. I used to go to barbershops, and trying to make that transition, I was just looking up Google reviews for places, and I got taken on a beautiful journey because all these places, especially like anybody knows who is like trying out a place for the first time. Like when you go to get your hair done, you're really putting your life in somebody else's hands. And that's all of us, whether you're going to a barbershop, salon, whatever. Because I've got bad haircuts before. I've got haircuts that left me looking like... They just left me looking like I don't know how to take care of myself, and now I gotta wait till my hair grow back a little bit to look even again, I went to the website of this salon, and I saw all the like beautiful designs of the braids that they do, the variety that they do and everything. So then I went to the bottom of the website, and it says, we're currently not taking clients, right? Which happens sometimes. But I went to their Google just to check if maybe they don't update the website, because I was like, let me call because maybe something's changed, right? When I get to their Google profile, I just go ahead and I'm like, let me look at the reviews just to check, because all this stuff is beautiful in the picture, but these could be Google images. So I'm reading lots of 5 stars, lots of 4 stars. Overall, they have a 4.7 as a business. So I'm like, they're crushing it, right? I do see a 1-star review. And I'm like, well, let me... Because you don't want to count out a 1-star reviews experience, because that means that whatever happened, as long as they're not lying, whatever happened, happened. And it could happen to you, right? So I'm reading it, and it's like, staff was so rude, I booked an appointment. They were trying to act like they didn't know who I was, and they sent me out, right? And I was like, wow, that seems weird. Because the business can comment underneath their comment. The business said, Chandra, you need help. Chandra, you need help. You tried to fool us and showed up as if you had an appointment, even though it says on our website we are not currently taking clients. You said that you talked to someone that we don't employ about an appointment and then sat in the chair demanding. I was like, fair enough, wow. That's amazing. I guess you can't trust every 1-star review, but wow. I tried to go and they were not taking clients. Like I had a very similar experience to Chandra. I was like, it's like, I don't know, what if I tried? I don't know, maybe I could be slick. And they were like, sir. Do y'all already know about Kristi Noem? Like, is this... Okay, if you don't know, she's a politician for now. She's in South Dakota, and she has blown up. I mean, I'm technically late to the story. Like, she blew up on the news and every platform because everyone thought that she was like the front runner to be Trump's VP pick, and she released a book, to just capitalize on that possibility. Was releasing a book around now, and in the book she tells a story about shooting her puppy. I know. And when I first heard about it, because I heard about it before I read about it, when I first heard about it, I was like, nobody's that dumb to just volunteer a story about them doing the one thing that'll bum everybody out across America, no matter what. Yeah, I mean, like, and she's telling the story, and she relays the story like a war story or something. And basically, she shot the dog, and then after she shot the dog, she was walking back to her house. I guess very proud of herself. And then she saw her goat, and she was like, I might as well, because I got more than one bullet in the... And then she kills her goat, and then she told everyone. And I feel like there's a whole thing of politicians being out of touch, right? Like, sometimes you'll hear about a politician saying something, doing something, Like, a good example is, like, the way that people were during the pandemic, how they would just be like, oh, well, now's the time to dip into our savings. It's like, what are you talking about, our, right? It's a very out-of-touch thing to say because you as a politician are very rich because every single one of them in Congress, usually at least, engages in some form of insider trading, and very few of them are trying to stop it, So out of touch is one thing. Killing your dog and telling everybody about it, that sounds like somebody that wants to retire but doesn't know how. Like, you know what I mean? Like, political life's a bit much. But when I leave, I want to make sure they don't keep bugging me to come back, I want to make sure when I'm gone, it's for good. Yeah. And she also... She keeps getting banned. There are a lot of reservations in South Dakota, and the leaders of each of these reservations keep voting and passing to ban her from stepping on the reservation, like ban her from the premises, which is like a good portion of the state. Like a lot of... I've never seen somebody get kicked out of outside. Like... Do you know what I mean? Because at a certain point, you just vote for them to get shot into space or something. Like, this is... Because I respect what the Native people were saying, because she was saying a lot about the reservation. She was saying that that's where all of the crime comes from, and that the cartels go through the reservation specifically. And they were like, not only do you not have proof of what you're saying, it's deeply offensive, and you shoot dogs. I don't want you anywhere around my children, my home, or anything. I feel like the only thing to do now is lock her in a room with Biden's dog. And like, just for them to talk. You know what I mean? Just so like, he can probably get through to her better than a human can. Because we already tried talking it out. I feel very blessed to live in this time. I don't know if I lived in any other time if I would have made it. I don't say that in a self-deprecating way. I hear stories from my mom, stories from my grandparents, stories from just the past. I watch documentaries and I'm like, sounds rough. Yeah, I mean, and I'm from a rougher time than now because the present is usually better than the past, and it gives you hope for the future and everything. Like I remember when text messages weren't unlimited. I remember when, what's crazy? Before text messages were unlimited, there would be a lot of time where I'd want to text somebody. Maybe they were going through something. Maybe they were, and I want to text them, but I only had so many. And remember minutes? Remember phone minutes? Okay, if anybody in here is very young, okay, so this is a rough concept to explain because it makes me sound like I'm from when the phone was invented. But for any of the younger people in here, just know that your cell phone, you making all these calls, your phones didn't used to be loose like that. Phones used to be much tighter, okay? Much stingier with time. They basically broke down your phone into minutes, and you had minutes that you could buy. They even broke down the day. Because at first, they charged you for minutes on minutes. Anytime you want to talk for an hour, it was this much you want to talk for. And then eventually, when they realized how to support more phones, they were like, listen, it's 25 cents a minute on your little plan, but everything's free after 5. And back in the day, after 5 o'clock, people's phones would blow up. People would... As soon as it hit 5 o'clock, it's like, I've been waiting to tell you. Like, the amount of times that it was like after 5 and then I got a call that actually was an emergency that I should have been called about at 2, but they didn't want to mess up their plan. So then they were weighing how badly I needed to know. The amount of calls about death I got at 5 p.m. And I'd be like, why do you call me when it happened? He wouldn't be more or less dead if I waited. Why I gotta burn minutes to tell you something that's gonna be true in a couple hours? Oh, it was a terrible time. It was rough. It was really bad. And texting fell under minutes. And so different phone companies had different plans. So for some people, one text was, a quarter of a minute. One text was half a minute. Some people, if they were being very expensive, a text was a whole minute, right? So it could be a very short text. It could be, hey, that's a minute. Which always felt crazy to me as a kid, because I got my first cell phone later than my other friends, because I didn't have money like that. So I had to buy my own cell phone and support it myself with minutes. And I remember I sent a text and it said, hey, and it would tell you how many minutes had been deducted every time you did something. When you get off the phone, it would tell you like that was 4.5 minutes or whatever. And I remember I sent a text message that said, hey, and it said I used a minute. And I was like, no, that wasn't a minute, because hey is hey. Hey, those weren't a minute. That I said hey, I didn't say How was that a minute? And there was nobody to argue with, because this is what killed me. Because sometimes when you try to call customer service to tell them they mess up your minutes and they deducting wrong and everything, it costs minutes to call them. So now I'm on the phone with them like, y'all need to hurry up and pick up, because it's minutes. Minutes are happening now. And do these minutes count? They're like, sir, these minutes count because you're on your phone. I'm like, no, but I'm talking to you about fixing my phone. They were like, yeah, but you're on your phone. I was like, oh, I think she's trying to keep me on the phone right now. I think she's trying to burn out all my minutes, because then she keep leaving and coming back and leaving and coming. What are you doing? Are you doing errands right now? Why can't you just continue the conversation and answer my question? So she got me burning through minutes. Anyway, text messaging used to sometimes be a whole minute for one text, right? And in a weird way, I wish we could go back to some form of limited text messages. We all get too much. We all get too many. Because this is the other problem with texting that I have now. Now that it's unlimited, people feel like you're obligated to them because they text you, because they feel like it's the same as talking. So as soon as they text you, it doesn't matter when they text you, as soon as they text you, that's like them being like, hey. But when you don't say anything for several hours, like if I said hey to you right now and you just stared at me, it'd be rude. It'd be rude. But you're also living your life. You're not obligated to say hey to me because I said hey to you. You're living your life, right? But then you'll see, you'll text somebody, especially if it's important. You'll text somebody. And then you'll be like, all right, they'll text me when they get to it. I hope it's soon because this is important. And then maybe you're just on your phone. Maybe you open up Instagram or something. And then you see a new post. And then that new post is less than a minute old. I'm like, okay, that's after I text them. So they on their phone. They on their phone. And then most phones, a lot of those iPhones have that red thing that has red. I don't know why people are snitching on themselves like that. That's crazy. Because sometimes people tell me stuff in a text message I don't want to respond to. So then why would I put read by Josh at 6:03 and now it's 7:42 and they know I read it. And it was important. We need to go back. I don't know. Everything's always about more. Sometimes more is too much. You know, what would our lives be like if there was a limit, a built-in limit, you know, where you could only sin? I'll give you even a wide margin, high ceiling. Let's say 200 text messages in a day. I don't think most people even hit that. 200? But if you live in a hectic life, you know what I mean? 200 is a pretty high ceiling. I had friends being like, no, 200 that's way too low. And I was like, do you go to work? What do you like? What do you mean low? What are y'all talking about? You know? I think it should be like very low. I think it should be like 25. 25 feels reasonable to me because now there are going to be people who hit you up, who get your number. You don't even know they have a number. They hit you up, and you're like, I'm not going to waste a text on a who is this? Because that's what I used to do during the minutes, right? You used to get a text, you don't know this number, you're like, who is this? Your phone's like, that was a minute. It's like, no, it wasn't a minute, though. It doesn't take that long to say, who is this? I just said, who is this? And they text me. Shouldn't it call? Every time you explain how tech used to work to a young person, I've said this before, but it just feels like the dark ages. Feels like feels terrible. Like they would also charge you if somebody texts you, and I'm like, that's not my fault. I can't control that over there. Because now you double dipping. It should charge the person who sent the text, and then the person, I'm just a listener. I'm a bystander. I wasted 5 minutes one time not knowing somebody. They were like, hey, how you doing? I was like, who is this? And they were like, it's Greg. I was like, I don't know a Greg. And then they were like, oh, sorry, wrong number. 5 minutes. What is my life? Charging me to open it like it's a secret every time. Your phone used to do that. It used to be a phone you could buy at the Dollar Tree, and then you put like 600 minutes on it thinking that's a lot. That's a lot. 600 minutes. That's crazy. I won't get through that. But then the way they rig it, they send a text message. It says it's from mom because mom is saved in my contacts, right? But then I'm like, damn, can I afford to open it? I'm on my last 3 minutes. Ooh, my last 3 minutes. And it just says mom, and it says unopened. So the phone is coming like, your mom texted you. You feel like knowing what it's about. What if it's an emergency? What if it's important? Go ahead and open it up. It'll just take a minute.